It seemed as if Michael Jordan was literally a god once he stepped in an NBA arena. And at times, he could do whatever he wanted at any time. But when reminiscing about Jordan's legendary career, the story of his mistakes are often conveniently left out, particularly once he started adding to his ring collection. Don't get me wrong, expecting perfection from anyone isn't reasonable, nor should it be. But sometimes Jordan's mistakes are forgotten about simply because of how great his legacy is. And don't worry, this isn't a hit on MJ, because let's be honest, the majority associate Michael Jordan as being the GOAT, and I'm not trying to take that away from anyone. Plus, while I'm on that topic, I know LeBron's name will probably be brought up in this discussion, because let's face it, these two go pretty hand in hand these days. So comment down below if I should make a LeBron video and compare their overall mistakes and see who's worse. Anyway, it would mean the world to me if you guys quickly hit the like button and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 100 subs in the next few months, but without further ado, let's get into Michael Jordan's worst moments. MJ is essentially regarded as an all-round perfect player. Whether it be handles, offensive IQ, defense, or whatever. However, there was a lingering issue in his game for quite some chunk of his career. He was a terrible three-point shooter. His combined percentage over his first 4 seasons in the NBA was staggeringly bad. It sat at 16.4%, which was easily the worst in the NBA over that time period for anyone who shot that many threes. Reggie Theus was the next lowest, and he only shot 21%. On the other end of the spectrum, Mark Price was the best at 43%. I understand three-point shooting was not as prevalent in that time, but he's regarded as the greatest player ever. He has to be held to higher standards than anyone else. And he's shooting the worst percentage in the NBA over his first 4 seasons. Early in his career or not, that is for sure a big issue. I will add that Jordan did turn it around as he got older, peaking with an excellent 42% from 3 in the 95-96 season. But his lifetime percentage of 32% is pretty pedestrian.
Well, Jordan struggled the entire rack. He only ended up with 5 going in, and it was a tough first time around for Michael Jordan. You see the look on his face, and remember
Jordan and the Bulls were heading into their matchup in the 1993 Eastern Conference Finals. MJ had just beaten the Knicks the year before in a 7-game series, so he was probably feeling pretty confident alongside his boy Scottie Pippen. So confident, in fact, that he decided to head down to Atlantic City the night before the opening 2 games of the series for some late-night gambling binges. This is the only other guy in the world that is compared to players like Kobe in terms of his insane work ethic and dedication to the game. Everyone talks about him obsessing over the game of basketball, not letting anything get in the way of winning. Yet, he decides to gamble the night before one of the biggest games of the year. And yep, the Bulls ended up losing both contests, falling way behind in the series and creating several must-win scenarios on the home floor. However, MJ is MJ, and something did switch on, and he came to his senses after not playing particularly well in either of the both games. He took control of the series and propelled the Bulls to 4 consecutive wins and several dominant performances, including a 54-point outburst in Game 4 and a triple-double in the MSG in Game 5. Goddamn. This one will be quick. Even late in his career, Jordan was no slouch on defense. 9 all-defensive first-team awards, including the season this happened, pretty much prove that. Plus, no matter what point in MJ's career, he was renowned for never losing a one-on-one or any personal on-court battles. To add to this, he probably wasn't very fazed when he saw a tiny-looking 6-foot rookie point guard in Allen Iverson. But this infamous clip of MJ guarding AI has got to be one of Jordan's least favourite moments in any game.
Iverson has Jordan, the crowd is into it, Allen shades free, gets 2! Mike said no, Allen said yes, the bucket, the crowd loves it!
When MJ returned after his retirement in 1995, he was expected to bounce back and basically dominate straight away, as their big three of Scottie Pippen, MJ, and Rodman had been assembled. They had a solid year, but ended up losing in the Eastern Conference Finals. They lost to the Orlando Magic, who were essentially made up of Penny Hardaway and Shaquille O'Neal, which sounds like an insane team, but considering they were both so young and it was early in their career, MJ probably should have gotten them over the line. Furthermore, he had an awful mistake in Game 1. When they were protecting a 1-point lead, Jordan had the ball stolen from him in a fast break scenario, and a dunk by Horace Grant gave the Magic the lead in a clutch situation.
In a crowd that was picked off by the Bulls, and Jordan spinning his way against Anderson.
While the steal itself is one of the most defining moments in Magic history, and an alarmingly sloppy play from Jordan, it's not as surprising as what happened next. After catching an inbounds pass while the Bulls were down by 1 point, Jordan drove and looked for a cutting Pippen, but threw a pass that went right behind Pippen and out of bounds.
Chance to take the final shot. Ronnie Kukoc will throw in. Jordan played by Royal. Jordan for Pippen. And it will be Orlando ball. Michael had the shot, but decided.
But another defense for MJ, this would be the last time that he would ever lose another playoff series. By the time the Bulls met the Knicks in the 1992 Eastern Conference semifinals, Jordan was starting to gain the invincible perception that he still carries with him today. However, during the pivotal Game 6 in Madison Square Garden, he looked anything but. MJ scored just 21 points, which doesn't seem awful, but when you look at the statistics, he shot 9 for 25 and turned the ball over a stunning 7 times, and the Bulls fell to the Knicks. This forced the series to a Game 7 in Chicago, but again in typical MJ fashion, he came out the next game and burned New York for 42 points, and the Bulls came out clinching the game by 29 points. As you guys may have seen in the recent Jordan doco, from 1989 to 1991, MJ and the Chicago Bulls had their season ended by the bad boy Detroit Piston teams. In some ways, those Piston teams helped Jordan become the player that we all know today. The repeated failure Jordan experienced motivated him to actively strengthen the team in order to withstand the beating the Pistons put on him in every single game. Though his dynasty was destined to come after, during those 3 seasons, Jordan could not figure out a way to overcome the bad boy Piston teams. That about wraps it up, guys. Let me know if you guys think there are any other moments that I may have missed. Again, I know Jordan is a complete beast. I was just showing off that even the greats sometimes mess up. Plus, I wanted to add onto some things that the recent documentary may have missed. Plus, one last thing, just wanted to shout out Josh Walters for subscribing and commenting on the last video. It means a lot, man. Anyways, much love everyone. Remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Again, I'm still doing anyone who comments and subscribes on any video. I'm going to shout them out in the next video. Thanks guys, and see you in the next video.